But what we're doing today, the vote on the budget is not doing our job. What we're doing today, which will be a Republican-led effort, minus me, will be an effort to tee up a bill to increase federal spending.
Wow. Sign me up. Joining us now, Kentucky Senator Rand Paul. That was him speaking just a few moments ago on the floor of the Senate. Senator Paul, welcome back. I think you're 100% right. Maybe you'll tell us more about what you said and what you're thinking on this point.
You know, we have two different budget battles going on, one in the Senate and one in the House. On the Senate side, it's been led by Lindsey Graham, who wants to spend more money on the military and more border money. My point has always been, with all the savings that Elon Musk is finding and DOGE is finding, send that back to us as a rescission package, and we can apply that to the border or the military. Instead, they're going ahead and just teeing up new spending without any significant cuts outlined so far. In the House, they lined up $1.5 trillion worth of cuts in their budget bill. I'm going to add that as an amendment, or try. So tonight the effort will go all night long probably, but the amendment that I will put forward will be, let's put the House spending cuts into our budget, $1.5 trillion, and show that we're serious so people like me can be more enthused about the project. Right now, I think it's just a spending bill, which I think it's a waste of an election, and it goes against what President Trump is saying and against what Elon and DOGE are doing.
Yes, I mean, 100% across the board on this. And, you know, I think President Trump, look, I've argued, you know, because Senator Crapo has said many times, the budget committees can, under reconciliation rules and laws, create their own baseline. You could put a plug in, and it'll be $1 trillion plug for DOGE or a $2 trillion plug for DOGE, and then have them go after it for the next 5 years or longer. Nothing wrong with that. It conforms very well. There's also small entitlements. People are afraid to cut any mandatory spending. The mandatory spending, the welfare spending has exploded. This is not just this is post-pandemic. It's exploded, and it continues to explode. And all the criteria have been waived. Nobody has to worry about work requirement. All these things seem to be missing from Lindsey Graham's budget resolution, and I don't know why anybody would want to pay any mind to it.
Every able-bodied person in America should work, not as punishment, but as reward. It's how we get our self-esteem, and I want everyone to work. And I don't want anybody that's able-bodied to get a check, one bit of a check, without work. That actually saves money, too. It saves over $100 billion from Medicaid. The states should pay more of their fair share. When the federal government pays for Medicaid, we borrow it, and we have the Fed to print up the money. States don't have a central bank. They don't have a Federal Reserve. So states are, by their very nature, more fiscally responsible than the federal government. So every program that is shared between the states and the federal government needs to be shifted back where the states have to pay more. Not because we're being mean to the states, but we have to shift the burden because we're accumulating too much debt. Interest this year is going to be $1 trillion, $37 trillion overall. I fear that our greatest danger to our country is from within, and I'm going to be the only Republican no on this, but somebody's got to.
You're making great points, sir. In my view, you're making very important points, and I hope your colleagues listen to it. Meanwhile, you're going soft on President Trump, I understand. Little birdie told me you like his cabinet picks, you like his Russia-Ukraine policy, and you like the Elon Musk DOGE policy. Tell us about it, please.
So, you know, during the campaign, you asked me a couple of times, are you endorsing? When are you endorsing? And I was on your program a couple of times, and I said I always wasn't there. So I'm a little bit late, but I'm enthusiastically endorsing Donald Trump. So I'm either late for the second term, or maybe I'm early for the third term. I don't know. But I am endorsing Donald Trump.
You got to like the DOGE effort. You just have to like the Elon Musk DOGE effort. I don't know if you've talked to Elon, but you just got to love it.
And to my mind, what Donald Trump is doing, the sense he's talking about foreign policy, and the fact that, you know, all these, the establishment up here is like, oh, we got to save democracy. Well, don't you have to have elections to have a democracy? So we spent $200 billion in a country that no longer has elections. For goodness sakes, that's not making the world safe for democracy. That's making the world safe for kleptocracy.
And also, what DOGE is doing on the regulatory front, you may have, I don't know if you saw the Sean Hannity interview with Elon and President President Trump. But basically, Elon said, look, I'm your tech assistant. He's a humble guy. I'm your tech assistant. But he wants to enforce the executive orders, so many of which, as you know, Senator Paul, are aimed at downsizing or eliminating key parts of the regulatory state, as well as the waste, fraud, abuse, and corruption in the rest of the budget.
Yeah, I think they're doing an amazing job. All I ask is that they collect all of this together, put it into a rescission package so Congress can vote on it. There is this constitutional power of the purse thing. I love everything they're doing, but to make it real, lasting savings, I want to see Congress vote on this, and I will do everything in my power to get over 50%. All we need is a simple majority to cut this spending. I'm afraid that it might disappear, or the second we turn around again, it pops back up and they're spending the money again, unless we actually change the law and quit spending the money.
Well, you know, OMB Director Russell Vought, who's an awful good guy, awful smart guy, he wants to make a run at impoundment. I know what you're saying about rescission authority. I understand that. Requires votes in the House and the Senate. But I don't know. I think there is an argument still to be made about presidential executive impoundment authority, particularly, Senator, when it comes to saving money. In other words, don't build $1 billion bridge if you can build a $500 million bridge. Don't spend all that money if you don't have to.
I think there's a great amount of leeway for the president to pause spending and examine it, and that's what's going on now. There's going to come a time when people are going to call this impoundment. The court precedent so far is that the presidents can't impound money. Does the Supreme Court have a different decision? Sometimes you have to challenge things if it's a law that talks about separation of powers. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but I think it's messy and long, and there's a chance the ruling goes against. I think we should also try to do the right thing, have Congress actually step forward and finally vote to cut spending, and I'll lead the effort if they send it back to us.
Well, is nobody talking about plugging this Senate budget with all the Musk DOGE savings? I mean, I can't, you know, I'm not that smart. There has to be lots of people that understand it can be done. Just the last few seconds.
Well, we'll see. I'm going to have an amendment to say $1.5 trillion in cuts must be part of this budget. We'll see whether my amendment passes, how many Republicans vote for it, and how many don't.
All right. Terrific stuff. Terrific stuff. Senator Rand Paul, thank you, sir.